Hi, I'm Sean McVeigh with Sean's Outdoor Adventures, and I want to welcome you to this episode of the Map Reading Challenge. As you know, I chose 3 men, and I took them on a wilderness map reading challenge hunt in western Maryland, where we had all kinds of wildlife and bear and things like that. And in this particular episode, we're going to focus on Andrew Penzi.
Andrew Penzi from Comac, New York.
Here are a few words from Andrew as he was making his way to the scouting part of this whole map reading challenge.
Good morning. I am on my way to Maryland for the map reading challenge, and I'm pretty pumped up. It's 4 a.m. Hit the road, and usually don't get up this early unless I'm going hunting, but we're going scouting, and scouting leads to hunting, so it's all good. And again, in Maryland, so that's pretty exciting. And looking forward to meeting Sean and the other guys. And my dad used to say it's the people that make the party. So hopefully everyone will be cool. I'm sure they will. And if the people show up and the deer show up, it's going to be a good time. Maybe not so much for the deer, but we'll have a good time. So I'm pretty psyched. A lot of anticipation for this trip. And even my wife was all psyched up this morning for me. So I'm psyched. So I'll see you guys in about 6 hours or so, and catch you down the road. All right, Sean, I'm coming. I'm just about 10 minutes out, and sure is pretty country out here. It's really beautiful. So looking forward to seeing you guys. See you in a few.
As you know, Andrew made it to the scouting part, and he actually encountered a doe when he was out scouting during his part of the scouting mission of this trip. Here's a little bit of footage from that, as well as some of the other things he experienced when he was out there.
Well, it never ceases to amaze me that every time I think I'm in the middle of nowhere, I'm not. And someone's been here before. This isn't a spot I really wanted to hunt anyway, but I guess someone else knows about it. So, not the only one on the mountain. Hey, this is a pretty cool area. Lots of deer scat and beds. It seems like they like this tall grass stuff. And it continues for a ways down here, and a lot of trail crossings. So might try this out. We'll see. It's a hike though to get here. That was so cool. That's what you want to see. That's scouting, man. That's the ultimate sign right there. Now, gonna mark this spot on the GPS.
I wanted you to at least see that snippet because I specifically chose this piece of hunting ground for Andrew because I thought it played well into his preference for hunting. There were a lot of areas that you could set up as a ground hunter and ambush the deer. There were some food plots that they had set up in this area, and the way the topography was laid out, I just thought it fed well into his style of hunting. So that's why I chose this area for Andrew. All right, so now let's meet up with Andrew as he makes his way to base camp for the actual hunt of this map reading challenge.
Hey guys, it's Andrew, and I must be just running on adrenaline here because I did not sleep much last night. So I'm really amped up. I've been on the road for about 4 hours, and I got about another 3 or so hours to go, and I'm really excited to go hunting.
So we got there, we set up our tents, and then we headed out for a hunt. And here's some footage of Andrew in his hunt number 1, the first night of the hunt.
Well, here we are, first night. I just shot a doe. That was exciting. Good to get the first one over with. She's right behind me. I had to put a second arrow in her just to try to end things quickly. But she's down right there, so that's good. I don't like tracking. So now comes the dragging part, so that's always fun. But looks like we're gonna eat some venison tonight. It's good news. Good evening.
So what happened?
It was a successful first night. We called it. I had 2 does come out in the field right next to me. One young one, one older one. And I didn't have the best shot because it was kind of an open field and I had a hard time judging the distance. And since I hunt from the ground, it's hard to use a rangefinder without being detected. So I took a guess. I was a little high. I spined her, followed up with a shot. Drove her out to the road.
Praise the Lord, man.
Yeah, it's good.
It's a good doe, man. Get down in there for a picture.
A decent sized doe, right?
Yeah, man. Congratulations, Andrew.
Thank you. Pretty pleased.
First day, man.
Yeah.
Good score.
Back straps.
That's right. That's dinner right there, baby.
Yeah.
All right, let's get this baby processed.
Yeah.
All right, so let's just pause for a minute and tally up Andrew's score to see how he did. So hunt number 1, that's 25 points. The distance was about 35 yards, so he gets 5 points for that. It was a doe under the age of 4.5, so he gets 40 points for that. It was a spine shot, and I originally didn't have a score for a spine shot because I really don't want to encourage spine shots. But you know, if you're going for it's almost going to hit double lung and the deer squats into it and you catch the spine, and then you quick run up and give it a good shot to dispatch it, you know, through the vitals. We'll give 5 points for that. He gets 5 bonus points for having a POV camera, catching it on POV camera. And he was hunting from the ground, so that's a bonus 10 points. And he was on public land, which is another bonus of 10 points, giving him a total of 100 points for his first map reading challenge. Congratulations, Andrew. That is really awesome. I am so proud of you. However, one of the big things, Andrew has harvested, you know, deer in the past, around 10 deer, something like that, but he still is searching for his first buck, to get his first buck on the ground. And so that's hunt number 1. He's got 4 more hunts to try to get a buck down. So let's meet up with him throughout those hunts and let's see what kind of experiences he was having.
Merp. Merp. Matt. Matt. Meow. 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 Black bear. That was pretty cool. I didn't know how to call him, but I was just trying to get a better look at him on the camera. I wish I could just find a buck now. That was really cute. So far today I saw porcupine, deer, turkeys, a bear, and a bobcat. It's a pretty good day. That was nuts. It's a great spot right here. I'm excited. Hey, bear, get out of here. Hey. Get out of here. Let's go. Hey. You. Yeah, get out of here. Oh, those bears get your heart going. But I'd much rather see them during the day than during the night. I just wish a big buck would walk by about now. But he just cleared everything out of there, I'm sure. Oh well, give it some time.
Now keep in mind, Andrew was sitting on the ground for all of those encounters, which can, you have a bear walking up to you within 15 yards, that's a little nerve-wracking. So let's join Andrew for his final interview, but let me just share something here. We did the interview in the afternoon on the last day, which means we still had an evening hunt left. But I had to leave before daylight the following morning to get home for some family obligations, and that's why I did the interview then. So let me just play the interview for you, but then there's something that happens in his final hunt that I have to share with you after this interview. So check out the interview, and then we're rolling into the final hunt. So Andrew, what are your thoughts at this point in the time? You came out here for the map reading challenge, saw all kinds of wildlife. What are you thinking?
I'd call it a success, I think all the map reading skills came into play, and your video was right on about, following the spurs and benches and everything else, and it seemed to be that's where I saw most of the game.
I mentioned in the video that, it's not just deer, but bear, turkey, all game are going to use the topography to their advantage, and that's really what we're doing out here. But, coming out here, you've never really hunted mountainous terrain like this. You come out the first night, and you get yourself a deer. How'd that feel for you?
Oh, I was pumped up. It was great. We called it. We were like, something's going to happen the first night, and it happened. It was a great feeling.
Yeah, what's the biggest thing? What's the biggest, let's say, lesson you learned, or the biggest take home for you coming out of this whole experience? Like, if there's one thing that you're going to bring home that's going to make you a better hunter from here forward, what's it going to be? Well,
I think I used to really concentrate previously on vegetation only, and so now I'm looking more at topography, and it definitely comes into play. So, and if you can get the two of them together, then you're in the right spot. So, yeah.
And what advice would you give somebody else if they wanted to do a map reading challenge?
Just get out there. There's no experience like, no knowledge like getting the experience from being out in the woods. And I saw so many neat things on this trip that I've never seen. Bobcat, bear, and porcupine. It was like crazy stuff. So it was a lot of fun.
Well, I'm excited. I'm really grateful we had this opportunity to do this, man. Thank you so much.
And thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Get out of here. Go. Get out of here. Get out of here. Yo. Get. Go. Get out of here, you. Hey. Get out of here. Go ahead, bear. Go. 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 Get out of here. Go. Get out of here. The end of my hunt. Hey guys. I just had the scare of my life. That bear was a few hundred pounds, and I was getting cocky from the other 4 bear I had. They all ran away from me. So when this guy came by, I was like, hey bear, get out of here. Nope. He took a couple steps, but then turned and he was sizing me up. He was like, I don't know, I think I could take you. And he could have. Woo! And I was making noise, shining my flashlight. He just kept looking at me. He actually took a couple steps towards me. And then I'm like, oh no, where's the bear spray? It was craziness. So I just kind of tried to back out of there, make a lot of noise, but he watched me the whole time. He took a couple more steps, and I was like, oh no, this doesn't look good. I really started freaking out. So I learned a valuable lesson. Don't mess with Mother Nature. Bears are strong and they're big. This is their woods, not ours. So thank you, God. I think I had a little guardian angel on my shoulder on that one. So I'm gonna get out of here before another one comes.
You know, everyone is different, and I have to say that one of the things that stood out to me when I was watching Andrew's footage was the way he was kind of like making noises at the animals and stuff. I am totally not that style of person. When I'm in the woods, I don't want the animals to even know I'm there. And I want to observe. I want to learn from them. I want to watch them walk by and see what they do and see if I can go undetected. Andrew was kind of playing with them a little bit, sort of interacting. But as we saw at the end, that's not always the best idea. And so just a thought we can learn from Andrew is, you know, trying to maintain a certain element of respect or, you know, distance, if you will, from the animals. Be more of an observer sometimes than an interactor with some of the animals, especially if it's you're not planning to harvest that animal or anything like that. Just let it go, you know. And I think in the future, especially with the bear, Andrew will probably take that approach. But again, we learn from each other, and that's one of the beautiful things about this whole map reading challenge is we are all learning from each other. We learn from the successes and the mistakes of each guy on here, including myself, and that helps each one of us become better. Now, I will say this, and I hope Andrew doesn't mind me bringing this up, but I really was thinking a lot about something Andrew said to me going into the scouting trip, which was he really was looking forward to the scouting trip because he was bummed out. It was coming up on the anniversary of his father's passing. For a lot of us, that's something that's hard to handle, you know, and I'm getting a little emotional just thinking about it. And so I cared about that and about him, and I was praying for him regarding that throughout the whole time after I learned that. And if you go back and watch the interviews from when we first met for the scouting part, I wanted to ask him if he was, you know, emotionally and spiritually going to carry the thoughts of his dad with him throughout this whole experience, because it's something that was so on the forefront of his mind. But I wanted to be sensitive, so I didn't say anything. So my question was, you know, so is there anything in particular on your mind as you go into this? Because I wanted to let him, you know, offer that if he wanted to, and he didn't. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't the thing that was prevalent on his mind. However, because that question was so on the forefront of my mind, I ended up asking it to Lewis, who was the very next interview. I said, is there any family members that are on your mind as you're going into this? It's just because it was just in my mind and I had to get it out. But it was really intended for Andrew because, you know, I wanted him to share that because our families are important. And I personally believe that, you know, there is an afterlife, and we do have a spiritual bond with everyone who is with our Lord in heaven, and they're still with us. And I believe, and Andrew said to me after that the angel that he referred to with that bear encounter at the end was he really felt like his dad was with him. And when I was watching the footage, and I didn't mention this before, Andrew totally had an angel with him when he shot at his deer. Because there's almost never a situation where a deer does not drop at like 35 yards away when it hears a bow go off. But if you watch here, I'll play the footage. This deer didn't drop. It just took a step, and that arrow was able to catch the spine. If it would have acted like almost 99% of all other deer, it would have dodged that arrow very easily. So one, I really feel like somebody was helping him out with that. And two, somebody was looking out for him, during the bear encounter at the end there. And then three, he shared with me later that his mom was actually inspired and compelled to pray for him right around that same time. And I believe that we do have a bond with each other. And even in my own family, my mom has told me she's prayed for me at times when I needed it. And, it's just amazing that we do have a bond and connection. And, I didn't necessarily intend for this to be a real spiritual episode, but you know what? We can all learn from that. Whether you believe or not, open that mind up and that heart up to the possibility that, these types of things can happen in your life as well, because they're deep, they're meaningful, they give value to all of our lives, not just ours, but our deceased family members and things like that. So awesome episode with Andrew. We learned from him. We, not just in the hunting realm, but in the spiritual realm, which is awesome. So thank you, Andrew, for coming and sharing your life with us and these experiences. And so, man, I'm looking forward to next year. I'm hoping to do another map reading challenge with people. If that's something that interests you, make sure you visit my website, Sean'sOutdoorAdventures.com, to find out how you can get involved and apply to be on a map reading challenge. Until then, good luck on your own challenges. Take care, and God bless.